Autism. A staggering 1 in 100 children are now being diagnosed with this complex disorder. While the exact causes of this disorder remain controversial, one thing is clear. The difficulties autism presents for children and their families are very real, and cases are increasing at an alarming rate.
I noticed something was wrong with Joey when he was about 15 months old. He basically only wanted to play with stacking cups and wanted to watch the same video over and over again.
When my boys were about 16 months old, we realized that there were some things that were not the same as my other kids. They were much quieter, they didn't point at things, not very engaging with anybody in our household.
The language wasn't coming. He didn't look at people. He often screamed and tantrumed and cried a lot.
Autism is best described as a disorder characterized by qualitative delays in communication, social interaction, and a restricted range of interests or activities. The signs appear prior to 3 years of age, and usually a parent is the first to notice that something is wrong.
One of the first things a parent has to do when they find that their child has been diagnosed with an autism spectrum disorder is to get to a competent professional. And that's often very difficult to do. The people who are most effective with the children with autism are ones who know exactly how to teach specific skills. They also know how to motivate the child to keep them participating in these learning activities. And last but not least, they have to know exactly what skills the child needs to work on at any particular moment.
Immediately, we started working on a family plan for early intervention services, and we knew that we had to go with some kind of a methodology that would really give them a lot.
From just reading and research that I'd done, I knew that ABA was an effective method to teach these children how to learn. What we realized was that verbal behavior was a branch of this ABA that had these kids working more in their home environments, in the real world, adapting what they're learning, to their everyday environment.
The research tells us that we need to have these children receiving approximately 30 to 40 hours a week of structured teaching activities. In addition, the parents need to learn how to teach specific skills during everyday activities, such as getting dressed, taking a bath, and so on. The most important element of any intervention program for these children is to teach them the critical language skills they need to be able to socially interact with others.
Current research suggests that with early intensive intervention, the majority of children diagnosed with autism can learn to communicate and gain many critical skills. To accomplish this, parents and educators need the proper tools. One of the most effective methods involves the science of applied behavior analysis.
Applied behavior analysis is a field of psychology where we help individuals learn new and functional behaviors. For example, we provide specific prompts to help the individual learn a new behavior. We also shape that behavior over time and reinforce attempts at the new behavior and also better approximations over time.
Most children acquire speech and language skills developmentally. However, children with autism need these skills to be specifically taught to them. Each area needs to be broken down so that they can imitate, repeat, use their language to initiate, maintain, and functionally communicate their wants and needs effectively with each other.
The science of applied behavior analysis has been used to develop a useful assessment of student skills that serves as the basis for a curriculum. This program has been called the Assessment of Basic Language and Learning Skills Revised. The ABLES-R is used by educators and parents of children with autism around the world to guide in the development of children's educational programs.
What the ABLES does is it arranges the skills in order from very simple to more complex, and it allows the parents and educators to then determine what skills the child has and doesn't have. From that, they can arrange for teaching activities to fill in the easier skills to be developed and gradually work on more of the difficult skills.
The skills that are tracked by the ABLES-R are those that are often required by most typically developing children from the time they are 4 to 5 years of age, right before they enter kindergarten. It is important that children acquire these skills because they are the foundation that will allow them to learn from their everyday interactions with others.
The tracking system itself allows for the parents to get feedback too in terms of what the intervention has accomplished for the child. If the child has made lots of progress, the grids fill in very quickly. If the child's not making progress in a certain area, that also becomes obvious, and then the focus of the intervention can shift to that area.
Educators agree that in any type of learning environment, parent-teacher involvement and an appropriate IEP are critical to a student's success. Recognizing that the internet has proven to be an invaluable tool, Dr. Partington has created an online version of the ABLES-R called WebABLES.
An IEP is an individualized education program designed for students with special needs. The WebABLES allows special education teachers and various providers to go log in, target specific goals that are needed to assist these students in their programming, and to create an ongoing assessment in order to determine what goals would be appropriate for the future. Parents can also go on the WebABLES and see the progress that their children are making, and also be participants in the education of their children.
The WebABLES, I think, helped the most in that it gave us the skills that they were going to need to know in order to be successful, and it told us what order they needed to learn them in.
Joey's making such significant gains so quickly. We update his program 3 to 4 times a year. And with the WebABLES, it's easy to streamline that and create new IEP objectives if need be, or generate the progress reports that we need, and it kicks them up to the next level.
Recently, in one of our home programs, what we were able to do is look at the assessment for the child and videos that specifically show what is this that we're trying to teach, so that we could talk about it and we could practice it, and then we were able to effectively use it with the learner.
The exact causes of autism may continue to be elusive. For this reason, many developmental specialists feel that the field must remain focused on helping children acquire the skills they need to live happy, healthy, and productive lives.
We need to conduct more research to find out why children are being diagnosed with autism spectrum disorders, what's causing it, what we can do to prevent it from happening. What we need to be doing now, though, is figuring out what are the most effective methods for teaching skills to these children. We want to make sure they acquire the critical language skills they need to be able to interact with us, and also we want to make sure that our methods are such that the children want to use those skills. We want them to run to us, not from us. The mission of Behavior Analyst is to provide high-quality, effective intervention services to children with autism or other developmental disabilities. Through our research, products, and service delivery, we attempt to teach others, parents and professionals, how to develop effective programs for children.
Can I have a fork, please?
Can I have no fork, please?
The teaching strategies delivered by Behavior Analysts Incorporated are instrumental in assisting children with autism to learn the skills needed to function as independently as possible. The ABLES-R and WebABLES allows for tracking and assessment of 544 different critical learning skills in 25 areas, and also provides individualized education plans and progress reports. Behavior Analysts Incorporated is dedicated to seeing that all children with autism are provided the tools they need to learn naturally from and interact with others. The staff from Behavior Analysts travels throughout the U.S. and around the world to educate and provide clinic-based instruction to parents, teachers, and school systems in the use of our effective assessment programs and teaching methods. Their series of products includes DVDs and books written by Dr. Partington and other recognized experts in related fields, and their services include the development of individualized teaching strategies, learner profiles, program recommendations, one-on-one instruction, training, and consultation.
With the WebABLES right now, we've been able to monitor their progress. It gives us an opportunity to kind of keep track of what they're doing, and for anybody that's working with the boys to be able to see at a glance exactly where they are now and what skills they still need to work on.
What I see is Joey's growth. Because I travel, I'm not home, I could be gone for a week to 2 weeks at a time. And when I do come home, I do notice the change in Joey.
He's making progress, he's learning things quickly and rapidly, he's imitating other children, he's initiating some social interactions, he's actually had a couple play dates recently, and our world's a lot better today than it was 5 years ago when we got this diagnosis.
We have to remember that these children are just like any other child, And we want them to have a happy life, both now and in the future. And to do that, they have to acquire many critical skills. And so it's really important for us to do the best job we possibly can to get them learning just as fast as they can.
For over 20 years, Dr. Partington and the dedicated staff of behavior analysts have devoted themselves to helping children with autism and other developmental disabilities achieve the best possible outcomes and live happy and productive lives. For more information about services the ABLES-R and other useful teaching tools, please visit behavioranalysts.com or call 888-210-8295.